Dr. Annette Stevenson. I am a board-certified naturopathic doctor, and I love the low-carb, high-fat diet that everybody is interested in these days. It's most of the time people call it a ketogenic diet. I like to call it a modified ketogenic diet for the one that I use because I don't go full keto. So I wanted everybody to have a chance to understand how you can convert some of your favorite recipes over to keto-friendly recipes. I know that a lot of people feel like going keto or changing their diet to low carb makes them feel like they're missing out on something. And if you can't have cookies or cakes or pies or things like that, it makes you feel like you're missing out. So the hardcore keto people would tell you if you're doing a ketogenic diet correctly, that you won't miss those things. But I mean, most people are not going to be good enough at doing a ketogenic diet right off the bat to really follow it 100% strict. So what I'd like to do is go over some things to help everyone who's interested in doing that. So if you haven't done so yet, go right above and click on those three little dots and click follow if you'd like to see more of these. I know a lot of people are going to see this as a replay, so if you'd like to be notified when I go live with health tips and things like that, click on those three little dots at the top and say follow. And you can also share this post with people, which will get the word out there to more people. So if you'd like to have other people get these tips and updates, I would really appreciate you sharing this right now with your page. So I really appreciate that. So why am I doing this live? I want to do this live to help people understand that you can convert recipes into a very easily to use low carb lifestyle. If you're doing this as a replay, please type replay in the comments below and let me know where you're from. I love to find out where people are from. So please tell me what state you're sending in or you're watching from. Converting recipes to keto can take some practice, and sometimes it can be a little challenging, and there's a lot of information out there that can be very confusing. So I wanted to talk about the types of flours that you can use. So you can use coconut flour. It's probably one of the most common low-carb flours that people use, but you have to keep in mind that it's very dense and it's very dry. So if you're going to use coconut flour, you have to add additional liquid to it, or the recipe is going to be super dry and crumbly and fall apart. Using an extra egg or doubling your eggs usually will help with coconut flour, but I rarely ever use coconut flour all by itself unless the recipe is designed to be used that way. And the person that created the recipe will usually say that it's coconut flour only, and it'll work just fine because they've modified the ingredients to make that happen. You can, like I said, double the eggs, or you can also add some almond flour to it. My personal favorite blend is about a 2-to-1 ratio, or 2 to 3-to-1 ratio of coconut flour with almond flour. So I said that backwards. So like 2 cups of almond flour and a half a cup of coconut flour, basically, or 3 cups of almond flour and 1 cup of coconut flour, because you want to balance it out and make it better. Almond flour is really damp and dense, and if you make a recipe completely out of almond flour, it's going to be really heavy. Although it'll taste great, it'll be fine, but if you're trying to make bread or something, it can be really heavy, which is another reason why people add xanthan gum or baking powder to their recipes, because it adds depth to it, kind of lightens it up a little bit. I also have a really good bread recipe that can be used for pizza crust, bread, rolls, or cinnamon rolls on my blog. It's ketocrafted.com. You can go there and look for some of those recipes. My friend Dosha is a great test kitchen chef, and she tests things out all the time and posts them, and sometimes I steal her recipes, and she knows I do that, but thank you, Dosha. So it's definitely worth the effort, because avoiding carbs and eating a low-carb, high-fat lifestyle helps with your health. It helps reduce heart disease. It helps reduce blood sugar and further diabetes. It helps also reduce obesity. So those are all things that that everybody's trying to fight these days. And the low fat craze that we've been living for the last 20 years has made people fat and sick. So the reason everybody's doing a ketogenic lifestyle now, or a paleo lifestyle now, is to get away from that low fat, high carb diet and get to a higher fat, low carb diet so that people will be healthier and get rid of all of that excess sugar that's running around in our bodies. Now, converting recipes, although it's not hard, you do sometimes have to buy a few extra things to keep in the kitchen, like xanthan gum. Most people have baking powder. You'll want to buy some almond flour. I prefer either culinary or super fine almond flour because it's more light and it's more like we're cooking with regular flour. Almond flour can often be used cup for cup in place of regular flour, although like I said, I do like to mix a couple of types of flours together. I don't always use just one because it just the flavor tends to be kind of strong. Almond flour can be kind of nutty flavored, and coconut flour can get kind of bitter if you use the whole recipe with that. So sometimes you have to play with it to get the way you like it. And I will be posting recipes on my blog for things that I've tested out, and I'll be doing video recipes on there as well. So if you're afraid to try new things, or if you're just not a chef and you'd like to see how a regular person cooks in their kitchen, my newly remodeled kitchen, I can't wait for that to be done, you can see those things there. So keep posted, and like I said, click on those 3 dots at the top if you'd like to follow me so that you can see whenever I go live and find out more about keto recipes and keto lifestyle. And please share this video with your friends and family so that they can find out how to do that as well. So converting a regular recipe to a low carb ketogenic recipe, like I said, you'll need a few ingredients, and if you go to my blog, there's a list on there for Amazon, and you can click on my grocery list on Amazon and see the things that I purchase. So sometimes that's helpful. So it's not as hard as you think. I have a chart posted with some conversions and things like that I think will be very helpful for people. But like I said, 1 cup of wheat flour is about the same as 1/3 cup of coconut flour. But remember, you have to convert it, and you have to add extra liquid, usually the same amount of liquid as you have coconut flour. So like a cup of coconut flour, you're going to want to add a cup of liquid, whether either it be coconut milk or like 2 or 3 eggs or something. You have to give it some extra moisture. And like I said, I like to mix almond flour and coconut flour together. 1 cup of almond flour equals about 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And then almond flour, you can usually do 1 cup for 1 cup with wheat flour. But like I said, I like to mix those things together. You can also add psyllium husk to recipes to add fiber, which is great, especially if you're doing low carb. You can also use psyllium seed to give the recipe a little volume and texture, and it also can be used to thicken things as well. So I hope those things are very helpful for you, and if you'd like more information, like I said, please click on the 3 dots above and follow me. Make sure you like this post and tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to find out where you're from, and share this with your friends and family, and go like or follow my blog, which is Crafted Keto, the hashtag, and my thing on Pinterest is High Fat Mama. So I'll be sharing some of the things on there as well. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a great day.